For centuries, Iran has stood quietly at the crossroads of human history, a land where empires rose, poets shaped civilizations, and cities learned to survive deserts, mountains, and time itself. Yet for many travelers, Iran remains one of the world's greatest unknowns. Beyond headlines and distant perceptions lies a country filled with breathtaking architecture, ancient engineering, sacred traditions, and stories written long before modern borders existed. But what makes Iran unforgettable is not only its history, it is how the past still lives within everyday life today. And as this journey unfolds, one question slowly emerges. Have we misunderstood one of humanity's oldest civilizations all along? Tabatabaei House tells a different story of wealth and intelligence shaped by environment. Built in the 19th century for a prosperous merchant family, the residence demonstrates how Persian architecture mastered desert, living long before modern technology. Sunken courtyards capture cool air, thick walls insulate against extreme temperatures, and delicate stained glass filters sunlight into gentle warmth. The house feels less like a structure and more like a carefully engineered ecosystem. Families lived, worked, and gathered here in harmony with climate rather than in opposition to it. Every space reflects balance between privacy and hospitality, two essential values in Persian culture. As light moves across carved stucco walls, time itself seems slower. Standing inside raises an intriguing thought. In an age obsessed with innovation, have we forgotten how much wisdom exists in ancient solutions? The Tabriz Bazaar is not simply a marketplace. It is one of the largest covered bazaars in the world and a living organism of commerce. Vaulted brick corridors stretch endlessly, guiding visitors through carpets, spices, copperwork, and centuries of negotiation. Unlike modern shopping centers designed for speed, the bazaar encourages lingering. Conversations matter as much as transactions. Merchants share tea before discussing price, reinforcing relationships built over generations. Light filters through ceiling openings, illuminating dust particles drifting slowly through the air, a reminder that trade here is deeply human. The bazaar once linked global economies long before modern globalization existed. Even today, it remains a place where tradition and modern life coexist naturally. Walking these corridors raises a fascinating thought. Is commerce at its best when it connects people rather than simply moving products? Borujerdi House was built not for power or status, but for love. According to local history, a wealthy merchant commissioned the home to marry the daughter of another prominent family, agreeing to construct a residence worthy of her upbringing. The result became one of Kashan's architectural masterpieces. Elegant wind towers rise above the roofline, pulling cool air through the building in a natural ventilation system centuries ahead of its time. Inside, curved ceilings and hand-painted frescoes create softness rarely associated with desert architecture. The house feels deeply human, designed for family life, conversation, and emotional connection. Unlike palaces built to impress strangers, this space was meant to nurture relationships. Perhaps architecture at its most meaningful is not about grandeur, but about care. If a home reflects the values of its builders, what does modern housing say about us today? Beneath the streets of Kashan lies Sultan Amir Ahmad bathhouse, revealing how daily routines once became works of art. Entering the bathhouse feels like descending into another world. Domed ceilings punctured with glass lenses allow soft light to fall gently onto tiled floors, creating a calm and almost dreamlike atmosphere. Public bathhouses served as social centers where people met, shared stories, and strengthened community bonds. Architecture here transforms an ordinary necessity bathing into a ceremonial experience of relaxation and connection. Even ventilation and humidity control were carefully engineered centuries ago. The rooftop offers a surprising view of desert domes stretching toward the horizon, blending functionality with beauty. In modern life, efficiency often replaces ritual. Watching this space invites reflection. Have we lost something important by turning everyday moments into rushed routines? Alamut Valley feels like a dramatic departure from the deserts of central Iran. Green slopes replace sand, clouds drift low across jagged ridges, and winding roads climb steadily into the mountains. For centuries, this isolated region offered protection, secrecy, and independence. Villages appear suspended between earth and sky, shaped by agriculture and survival in difficult terrain. The silence here feels different, deeper, almost watchful. Travelers often describe an unexpected sense of mystery long before reaching the famous fortress above. Geography itself becomes storytelling. Every cliff and narrow path hints at histories shaped by strategy rather than empire. Standing in Alamut Valley reminds visitors how landscapes influence human destiny. Some civilizations expanded outward, while others chose isolation to endure. When nature provides both beauty and defense, which would you choose: connection with the world or safety within the mountains? Kandovan village feels almost unreal at first glance. Homes carved directly into volcanic rock formations resemble a living sculpture shaped by both geology and human adaptation. Unlike ancient ruins, Kandovan remains fully inhabited, with families continuing traditions passed down for generations. The rock dwellings naturally regulate temperature, staying cool in summer and warm in winter, a reminder that innovation often begins with understanding nature. Narrow pathways wind between stone homes, children play outside carved doorways, and daily life unfolds within structures centuries old. Kandovan challenges modern assumptions about comfort and progress. Here, simplicity and sustainability coexist effortlessly. The village suggests that harmony with environment may be the oldest form of technology humanity possesses. Watching life continue inside these ancient homes leads to an intriguing reflection. Could the future of living actually resemble lessons from the distant past? Lake Urmia concludes this northern journey with a landscape both beautiful and fragile. Once among the largest salt lakes in the Middle East, its changing water levels have transformed the environment dramatically. Depending on season and rainfall, the lake shifts between vast reflective waters and surreal salt plains tinted pink by microorganisms. The scene feels otherworldly, almost silent, encouraging reflection rather than activity. Migratory birds still arrive, following ancient routes across continents, reminding us that nature operates on cycles beyond human control. Lake Urmia introduces a contemplative ending to the exploration of northwest Iran, a reminder of balance between preservation and change. As travelers watch the horizon fade into soft colors, one final question emerges. How do we protect the landscapes that quietly sustain our shared future? High above the valley, Alamut Castle emerges from sheer rock as if grown from the mountain itself. Built in the 9th century and later associated with the legendary Nizari Ismailis, the fortress became known as one of history's most strategic strongholds. Reaching it requires effort, steep paths, thin air, and patience, reinforcing its original purpose of defense. From the summit, views stretch endlessly across rugged terrain, revealing why control of this location meant survival. Contrary to myths, often told in popular culture, Alamut represents organization, scholarship, and resilience more than mystery. Libraries once existed here, preserving knowledge during uncertain times. The ruins today feel contemplative rather than dramatic. Wind moves through broken walls, carrying echoes of discipline and strategy. Looking down from this height, one question naturally arises. Does power come from domination or from choosing the right ground to stand on? Hidden deep within northern forests, Rudkhan Castle offers a completely different vision of defense. Unlike desert fortresses, this castle rises from dense greenery, surrounded by mist and ancient trees. The journey begins with hundreds of stone steps, climbing through humid forest air, creating anticipation with every turn. Built during the Sasanian era and expanded later, Rudkhan controlled mountain passages connecting northern Iran to inland regions. Moss-covered walls blend seamlessly into nature, making the fortress appear timeless. Here, architecture does not dominate the environment, it cooperates with it. Birds replace desert winds, and flowing water replaces silence. The experience feels adventurous, almost cinematic, as though stepping into a forgotten legend. Reaching the top rewards visitors not only with views, but with perspective. How different does history feel when discovered through effort rather than observation? Tabriz stands near ancient trade routes that once connected Persia to Anatolia, the Caucasus, and beyond. For centuries, this city served as a gateway between worlds, absorbing influences while preserving a strong local identity. Unlike the poetic calm of Shiraz or the symmetry of Isfahan, Tabriz feels energetic and resilient. Earthquakes, invasions, and shifting empires repeatedly reshaped the city, yet it continually rebuilt itself. Walking through modern streets reveals layers of history hidden beneath everyday life. Cafes, markets, and conversations reflect a culture shaped by movement and exchange. Tabriz reminds travelers that civilizations survive not by remaining unchanged, but by adapting without losing their core spirit. Here, East and West never fully separate, they coexist. When cultures meet and evolve together, does identity become weaker or unexpectedly stronger? The Blue Mosque of Tabriz stands as a survivor of time. Originally built in the 15th century, much of the structure was damaged by earthquakes, leaving fragments that still convey extraordinary elegance. Deep blue tiles once covered every surface, earning it the name turquoise of Islam. Even in partial restoration, the mosque carries emotional weight. Broken patterns reveal both loss and endurance, reminding visitors that beauty does not require perfection. Silence dominates the space, inviting reflection on resilience rather than grandeur. Unlike pristine monuments, this mosque tells a story of survival. Its remaining mosaics glow softly under changing light, suggesting history continues even after destruction. Standing among these restored walls prompts a simple yet powerful question. Can something become more meaningful precisely because it has endured hardship? Rising above the plains near Tabriz, Mount Sahand introduces yet another face of Iran. Snow often rests on its volcanic slopes, while green pastures spread below, creating a landscape rarely associated with the country's desert image. Nomadic traditions continue here, with seasonal migrations following ancient rhythms older than written history. The mountain feels timeless, neither fully wild nor fully inhabited. Clouds drift slowly across its peaks, softening the horizon and inviting contemplation. Travelers often pause here not for monuments, but for perspective. Nature replaces architecture as the storyteller. After witnessing centuries of human achievement across Iran, Sahand reminds visitors of something larger and quieter. Civilizations rise and fall, yet mountains remain patient observers. Standing before such scale raises a humbling thought. How small do human stories appear when viewed against geological time?